Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's that boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. Yes, sir. We are in the building. And I see we got a couple of people early on the bus going home. LOL. Okay. Halim, what's going on, fam? Shelton Moore, what's going on? Let's see. Wayne Fitness, what's going on with you, brother? No official offers and negotiations. Spence has wasted enough time. Let's see who else we got in the building. We're going to give everybody time to get on. In Bloom, what's going on, brother? What's going on with you? Yeah, we're going to talk about it today, man. We're going to talk about my main man, Terence Crawford. As you guys know, Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter. But I'm going to try to be as objective as possible. That's the journalist in me. I am, as I told you guys before, I am registered with the United States Press Agency. So the guy who trained me and taught me, really taught me, just professionalism as it relates to, doing not only just my analysis, but doing research and stuff like that. So that's kind of like what I bring different to the game. I'm going to do some sharing with you guys. We're going to share my screen with you, but we're going to give everybody time to get in because I'm curious to find out what everybody thinks about basically, what's going on the internet right now from the pro PBC fight channels. Is Terence Crawford is ducking. Terence Crawford, he hasn't fought anybody. Terence Crawford hasn't done anything in the welterweight division. Terence Crawford is this guy who just a duck, scared, terrified, shaking in his boots. But Errol Spence is his perfect fighter. He's the greatest thing of all time. He's doing big boy numbers on 300,000 pay-per-view buys and stuff like that. That's big. Wow. I mean, that's going to show you where we at in the world today. But anyways, I want to address the elephant in the room as it relates to Terence Crawford because I have a different spin on it, a different take on it. Basically, and we're going to get to this. But let me just give it about a few more minutes to let other people come in, and we're going to talk. William Hillian, what's going on, fam? What do you say? Kelly boy here from Scotland. It's PBC fighters that's ducking. So tell the LDBC to go and dump their propaganda at the door of Al Heyman. That's what's going on right now. A lot of propaganda going on. But I will say, Boxing Ego did, I guess he tried to be as fair as possible. He did spin it, kind of slide it towards Errol Spence's way, because they do make this same argument that Errol Spence is the big fish. Errol Spence is bigger than Canelo Alvarez now. He outsold Canelo Alvarez on one event, one boxing match when Canelo Alvarez was fighting Rocky Fielding. So when they go to saying that a guy who has a net worth of $7 million and his pay-per-view numbers are in the 300,000s, and they go to saying that he is a bigger star than Canelo Alvarez, that tells you everything you need to know. No objectivity at all. A lot of people have a problem with objectivity, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to get, emotional about this, because this is my guy, Terence Crawford. But I got to call it like I see it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to cap for Terence Crawford, but I'm not going to lie on him either. You see what I'm saying? So, Halim, what do you say? I thought Spence said 80-20 with Crawford. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, now, 80-20, 70-30, he gets no criticism for that. That's not a duck. That's when, when Errol Spence says 80-20, 70-30, and I'm the big fish, and first you got to get a belt. And then when he get a belt, 3 years later, this guy's been chasing you. He can't get a fight with you after chasing you for 3 years. And then when someone asked him at the DAZN event last year when Maurice Hooker was fighting Virgil Ortiz, when they asked him, hey, man, what do you, if Terence Crawford, if this, all these are ifs, if Errol Spence offers you 50-50, would you take the fight then? Terence Crawford said, I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm tired of playing games with these guys. You know what I mean? Because he's been in this division for 3 years, right? Errol Spence was already a welterweight. Keith Thurman, all these other guys was already welterweights, before he came in the division. And then when he came into the division, his first fight was a title match, and he won the WBO. 3 years later, he can't get the Spence fight. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman is MIA. You know what I mean? All of these guys said that Terence Crawford hasn't fought anybody. Danny Garcia, they tried to fight Danny Garcia. They offered him money. He said it was too low, but he made less money fighting fighting Errol Spence. You see what I'm saying? 225,000, 250,000 pay-per-view buys with Errol Spence. So let's address the elephant in the room. Is Terence Crawford ducking? Is Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence? Is Terence Crawford ducking Sean Porter? Is Terence Crawford ducking Virgil Ortiz? Let's address the elephant in the room. Before I give my analysis, let's get to it. Let me give everybody a shout out. Halim, what's good, fam? What's good? I'm gonna talk to you, Halim, man. We need to talk. So I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna get at you later, okay? William Hillen, what's going on, fam? What's up with you? Joe, what's good, brother? He's not ducking Spence. He's not ducking Spence. You guys got to be honest. Sean Porter is told to trigger the mandatory clause to get that ass whooping. He never said that he would not fight Ortiz. Stop, y'all. Joe, you're right about that. I'm gonna address all of that, Joe. I promise you. I am going to address all of that because the narrative that's being spent with the pro PBC YouTube channels is the total opposite. The narrative is, Terence Crawford is afraid of Sean Porter, but Sean Porter has not activated his mandatory clause. However, you are mandatory for a fighter, you're calling him out, but then you won't even activate your mandatory to fight him. That's crazy. And then the promoter of Terence Crawford made you several offers to fight him, and you turned them down. So if you turn down the offer, is Sean Porter ducking? So anyways, but let's just get just the elephant in the room. Joe, what's good, fam? What did he say? Crawford even showed up to a Spence fight. What did he get in return? Spence disrespected him. Crawford been the guy chasing him all the time. Spence always says nobody's ducking Bud, but he low-key ducking. You know what I mean? I know that word duck gets thrown around a lot, but we want to address that. Facts is, Crawford has been chasing Spence for 3 years. First, it was he need to get a belt. He got a belt. Then it was he's on the other side of the street. Then it was he need to fight somebody. Then when he fights Kell Brook and Amir Khan, you ain't fought nobody else past their prime. And then it's gonna be 60-40. Then it's gonna be 70-30, 80-20. So it's games being played, by Errol Spence. So his energy changes when it comes to Terence Crawford. But the reason why we doing this live today, guys, is because of this. I always want to be the counter narrative to what's being said by the the Alphabet Boy channels. They are more predominant in the sport as it relates to the sport of boxing. So no one is really challenging them. No one. Everybody is like, I think I'm the only guy that's really like going after their necks. That's showing his face. You see what I'm saying? On the camera, like like you got YB the LDBC Slayer, but don't nobody know what he looks like. You see what I'm saying? I'm out front and center. You know what I mean? Because when I say my words, I'm gonna put a face to it. I'm gonna put a face to whatever I say. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to address the elephant in the room. I hope everybody doing well. Let's keep going. Let's see. And Bloom, what's good? What's good, brother? We're going to address the elephant in the room. The boxing Jedi. What's going on, fam? He isn't ducking. He is the face of boxing. He is the face of being ducked. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going to go at it. Let's see, Harleen, what do you say? I thought it was Spence making dumb to Crawford 70-30, then 80-20. They say Crawford is ducking, though. Yeah, man, that's the narrative because remember, these pro PBC fight channels, that's their narrative. So if Errol Spence says something, they don't shoot videos saying Errol Spence said 80-20, so that means he's ducking. They say, oh, Errol Spence is just joking, messing with Crawford. But when Crawford says 50-50, they immediately jump on him. So you can just tell, like, everybody, most people have their biases. We ought to know what time it is. We know what time it is. You see what I'm saying? When you I can't even say these guys are analysis because they are not trained in journalism. They just started a YouTube channel. So basically they have their own biases. That's what it is. So it's remember, I've been consistent with this. These channels, they don't like Terence Crawford. You can tell they don't like Terence Crawford. They don't like UK fighters. You see what I'm saying? So if it's a fighter that's coming out of the UK, or if it's a fighter that's a non-PBC fighter outside of Devin Haney, you see what I'm saying? They always show some kind of slight against them. They show a little love maybe every now and then to Shakur Stevenson, but he's not a PBC fighter, so that's what it is. But anyways, let's get to it. Shelton Moore, what's good, brother? What's good? In Bloom, what's going on? Jeff Lucietta, what's going on, fam? Dick Justice, what's going on? Adam, what's good, fam? What's going on with you? Bunny Badass, what's going on? William, what's good? Itchy Muscles, what's going on? Michael Buffer, what's going on, fam? J Mac, Toby Barlett, what's going on? Jermaine C, and it's cold in the winter. What's going on, fam? In Bloom, what's going on? All right, Dragon Leg, what's going on, brother? Let's get to this. What's good, fam? From Ace Town. Ace Town. Hey, I'm glad you're from Ace Town, man. That's good. I'm glad you're here, man. I want to, just tell me what do you think? Mr. Agnes 245, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Adam, what's going on? So let's address this. Number one, because of the Mo Hooker and Virgil Ortiz fight, Terence Crawford was out there. Errol Spence was out there. Errol Spence looked like he was drunk. His eyes looked very saucy. He was slurring. Let's be honest. You know, that's everyone in the circle of boxing here in America know this guy is a drinker. He loves to drink. That's how he got in the car accident. But let's push that aside. Push the drinking aside. As it relates to Terence Crawford, I noticed that all of these pro PBC channels are saying Terence Crawford is ducking. Terence Crawford admitted that he's ducking Shawn Porter. This is what Blue Ball say on his channel. Terence Crawford admitted that he's ducking Shawn Porter. Yada, 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 yada. Terence Crawford was on Twitter on his channel. He was just jabbing with the fans, people who basically they wasn't really fans. They were people who were pro Errol Spence and PBC fighters, and they was kind of like hating on him. So, you know, Terence Crawford pretty much said in his Twitter feed, yeah, he's afraid of Spence. Yeah, he's afraid. He's scared of everybody. You know what I mean? Of course, we know that's not true. Tongue in cheek. But now if Spence say that, if Spence say the same thing, they'll be like, oh, Spence was just, they'll put up a defense for Spence. But it doesn't fit their narrative. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Super chat. Bad Bunnies, what's going on? Check this channel out a couple of times. And I do like what you say, Bad Bunny. Let me put you on the screen. Check this channel out a couple of times. And I do like a couple of LDBC channels, but I don't agree with it all. I rock with Punch and Showbiz. Just trying to feel you out to see if it's down the middle. Yeah, Bad Bunnies, man. I really, really appreciate the super chat, and I really, really do appreciate you just giving me a shot and opportunity. Basically, Showbiz the Adult is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Kurt DeVille of Counterpunch Boxing is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. These two guys are very, very objective. They're very down the middle. You know what I mean? They don't slant their opinions. You know, they understand, like when they report on boxing, they don't slant it towards hate this fighter, hate this fighter. They right down the middle. They're gonna represent for the fighter, and they're gonna call out some things that they see. I'm gonna tell you what's going on with the Terence Crawford situation. Terence Crawford is frustrated. Bunny Badass. Terence Crawford is frustrated because when the guy asked him at the DAZN event at the Virgil Ortiz and Maurice Hooker fight, he asked him if Errol Spence was to offer you 50-50, would you take that fight? He said no. He said no because he's just tired of playing games with these guys. Now, that sounds like a man that's frustrated. You see what I'm saying? And then he said that I've been chasing these guys for 3 years. Now, we do know that Errol Spence, Terence Crawford has been chasing them for 3 years. Whether you've been hiding under a rock or not talking about you, Bunny Badass, but I'm saying he has been calling them out. Now, it's been Terence Crawford is too small. It's been, oh, you need to get a belt. So his first fight in welterweight, he got a belt. Then you have to fight somebody. Okay, well, if the big name fighters are all at the PBC and nobody in the PBC wanted to fight him, then you can't criticize him for fighting whoever's available. You can't say in one aspect you need to fight somebody, but all of the somebodies are with one management company, but then nobody in that management company wants to fight him. Then you turn around and say, oh, you ain't fought nobody yet. But you guys don't want to fight him. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's been going on. So Terence Crawford is very, very frustrated. Now, I don't know Terence Crawford. I haven't talked to him. But I do know just from me analyzing it myself, Bunny Badass, that that's what it is. He's frustrated and he's just tired. He's just tired at the moment. And I get it. I really do get it. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But thank you so much, Bunny Badass, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, bro.
Super chat received.
You see what I'm saying? So right now, let's go ahead. Thomas, what do you say? They ducked Crawford. So that's what happened, right? Keith Thurman didn't want to fight him. He said he need to get his weight up, this and that. Now, probably like a few months ago, Keith Thurman did call him out, but he said he wanted $10 million. Well, wait a minute. You never got paid $10 million for a fight in your life. You didn't get paid $10 million to fight Manny Pacquiao. You didn't get paid $10 million to fight Shawn Porter or on Danny Garcia. But when it comes to Terence Crawford, you want $10 million. So come on, man. I mean, cut it out. So Terence Crawford is frustrated, and that's what it sounds like to me. I'm gonna tell you why I believe that. Because in the interview at the DAZN, he said, "I'm tired of playing games with these guys." Terence Crawford does not understand the politics of boxing. That's his problem. Remember, when he was at lightweight, he didn't have issues getting fights. When he was at junior welterweight, he didn't have issues getting fights. When he gets to welterweight, everything changes. You see what I'm saying? Now, is Terence Crawford the best businessman from a marketability standpoint? No, he's not. And that's just me being fair. And I'm a diehard Terence Crawford fan, but I have to be honest. He's not, when it comes to a marketability standpoint, he's not the best businessman in the world. I would say that. But he is getting paid $4.5 million. I think anywhere from $4 million or $4.5 million a fight, which ain't bad. So when people say he never should have signed with Bob Arum, wait. He never should have re-signed with Bob Arum. Wait. My job as a content creator covering the sport of boxing is to talk about the sport of boxing. It's not my job to tell another man who he should and shouldn't sign with. You see what I'm saying? When you get into that, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Damn who he signed with. What does that have to do with getting the fights? You see what I'm saying? So Terence Crawford is frustrated that he can't get these fights that he wants. Now, let's address Sean Porter. They say, well, now he's ducking Sean Porter. But how is he ducking Sean Porter? They offered Sean Porter $2 million. They offered him $1 million. You know, not Terence Crawford, but Bob Arum offered him $1 million. Then they offered him $2 million. Sean Porter said $2 million is not enough for him. Listen, I subscribe to Sean Porter's The Porter Way podcast. So I heard it out of his own mouth. I'm not going by what nobody else say. This is what Sean Porter said on his podcast. That there's no way, you know, he know what he's worth. But he got paid $2 million to fight Errol Spence. So how in the hell $2 million is not enough to fight Terence Crawford, but $2 million was enough for you to fight Errol Spence? Like, make that make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? And he did get a percentage of the pay-per-view buys as well in that fight. And the pay-per-view was only like $300,000. So that wasn't much money for them to get. You see what I'm saying? Because when you add up all the money that these fighters make, Uncle Sam's going to take half of that. And then Al Haymon got to get his cut. So whatever he's left with is what he's left with. So don't, you know what I mean? And then Sean Porter has not activated his mandatory clause. You can't be calling the guy out saying, fight me. And then when they make you an offer, you don't like the offer. Then when they make you a counter offer, the up it up, double the offer, you don't like the offer. And then all these pro PBC channels are saying that Terence Crawford, that's proof Terence Crawford is ducking Sean Porter. You see what I'm saying? It's obvious these guys are so biased, they don't even try to hide it anymore. You see what I'm saying? So that's the situation with Bud and Terence Crawford, with Bud and Sean Porter. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. If they reach out to him to make the fight and you don't like the money, so my next thing is this: activate your mandatory clause, and why don't you get Al Haymon to put the money up? Al Haymon is supposed to be the man in boxing, right? Al Haymon is supposed to be this guy that got all the money. He got the power in boxing. How come he's not putting the money up to pay you what you want? You see what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand.
Hey, Leroy! Super chat received.
Badass. Bunny Badass, good looking out for the super chat again, fam. I think the fight will happen. I feel like they're building it up like Pac versus Floyd, but you don't think that Arum lowballing Porter with $2 million and Khan got $7 million? Bunny Badass, I don't know what, let me ask you a question. Khan got $7 million. Mira Khan is a bigger name, even though he's not a better fighter than Sean Porter. He's a bigger name than Sean Porter. Is Mira Khan past his prime? Absolutely, he's past his prime. Do I think that Bob Arum should have offered Porter more money? $2 million ain't bad. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, Bunny Badass. Because he got paid $2 million to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence and Sean Porter got paid $2 million a piece, guaranteed money. They split it right down the middle, and then they took a percentage of the pay-per-view buys. The pay-per-view buys was only $300,000. Now, I don't know exactly what it was selling per pay-per-view, but if I knew the exact numbers, I can do it for you right now on my calculator. I can do it for you right now. But so my thing is this here. This is my thing, Bunny Badass. Sean Porter has a mandatory, right? Why he has not activated his mandatory? That's what's so strange to me. That's one. And two, Bob Arum said, listen, he will let the fight go to a purse bid, and then let Al Haymon put the money up to pay Porter what he wants. If money is what Porter wants, which is nothing wrong with that, and I like Sean Porter. I think Terence Crawford and Sean Porter should fight next. That's the fight that I want to see. So I'm not going to let Crawford off the hook. You see what I'm saying, Bunny Badass? But at the same time, if Porter won't take the $2 million, right? Then let it go to activate your mandatory clause. Let it go to a purse bid like Teofimo Lopez did. Remember, Teofimo Lopez was not getting the money that he wanted from Top Rank, so he went ahead and it went to a purse bid, and then the highest bidder, which was Trill, I think it was Trill or whatever, they ended up paying Teofimo $6 million. So why don't Sean Porter do that? That's what's so strange to me. Teofimo did that. Why he won't do that? And why Al Heyman won't put the money up? Because if Bob Amber's not going to budge on $2 million, then why don't Sean Porter activate his rematch clause, activate his mandatory clause, right? And then go ahead and get Al Heyman to put the money up. That's what I don't understand, because that's my counter argument to that. You see what I'm saying? Now, if Sean Porter got paid $2 million his last fight, and he had a belt to fight, not his last fight, but his last fight, he got paid like $1.2 million because he fought a nobody and he couldn't even knock him out. But that's neither here nor there. The fight to make is Sean Porter and Terence Crawford. I want to see that fight bad, because I want to see how Terence Crawford can handle Sean Porter's pressure. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see that fight. I'm not a Terence Crawford fan that's saying, oh man, you know what? Sean Porter don't deserve to fight. Listen, in the fight game, everybody need to fight each other. I don't want to hear nothing about you on this side of the street, that side of the street, get a belt, you ain't fought nobody, yada, 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 yada. I don't want to hear none of that. You know, because I'm 47 years old and I came up in the era where everybody fought everybody. In this era, everybody don't fight everybody. My only point is be fair about it. If you're going to say Terence Crawford is ducking, okay, when Errol Spence say that 80-20, 70-30, get a belt, you ain't fought nobody, and all of this stuff there, is that okay? How come he get a pass as well? And what I'm seeing is slanted towards is anti-Bud channels, basically. When it comes to him. So that's just my analysis. But to address your question, if Sean Porter thinks that he's being lowballed with $2 million when he got paid $2 million to fight Errol Spence when he had the WBC belt, if he feel like that is too low, why not activate the mandatory clause? And why not let somebody win the fight on a purse bid? He hasn't done that. You see what I'm saying? So, and all fair to Terence Crawford, Team Terence Crawford did say, Sean Porter, since you're so serious about this fight, activate the mandatory clause. He hasn't done it yet. And listen, I watch Sean Porter's The Porter Way podcast every day. You see what I'm saying? Whenever he drop a video, because I have the notifications on, and he's not addressing that. So is Sean Porter scared of Terence Crawford? Hell no. Sean Porter ain't scared of nobody. Is Terence Crawford scared of Sean Porter? Hell no. You see what I'm saying? I don't think neither one of them is scared of anybody. But from the business aspect, Bunny Badass, I just think that Sean Porter should go ahead and activate his mandatory. You see what I'm saying? And then just take it from there, and then let it go to purse bid, and then let Al Heyman put the money up. So what you say, Bunny Badass? So Porter versus Crawford, you think Thriller can pick it up? You know what, man? I don't know. I mean Triller. I don't know. Triller, they paid Teofimo Lopez. Well, I don't know if they paid him $6 million. I think they put up $6 million for the whole fight. I think that's what they did. They put up $6 million for the whole fight. So Cambosa is going to get a nice good percentage of that, and then Teofimo is going to get like $3.5 million or something like that. So I mean, hell, why not? Who wouldn't put the money up for that fight? I be honest with you, Bunny Badass, I really believe that they will. But if they don't do it, why why Al Heyman won't do it? Because Al Heyman's supposed to be this big power broker in boxing. You see what I'm saying? So something is not right about that. Maybe people who look on the outside looking in understand that there's no money in that fight. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But that's just what I'm thinking. But I could be wrong, Bunny Badass. I could be wrong. Shut more. $2 million is not enough for an ass woman he's going to get. Listen, Sean Porter, man, is a tough fighter. You know what I mean? So, me, I love Terence Crawford, as you guys know. I make no bones about him being my favorite fighter. But while I'm talking to you guys on this channel, what I'm trying not to do is be so pro Crawford that I defecate on everyone else. I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to take nothing away from Crawford either. All of these other channels talking about he's scared, he's ducking, this and that. That's to support their narrative, because they really don't want to see Spence and Crawford fight anyways. And Spence never made Crawford an offer. Never. And listen, anytime you see people going back and forth on Twitter, that's not an offer. An offer is when you submit paperwork. What I do know is Top Rank did submit 2 offers to Sean Porter, and Sean Porter's turned them down. That's what we know, because that's what's being reported. He did send them 2 offers, and Sean Porter even said that on his Porter Way podcast. And he said he didn't like the offers. $2 million is not enough money. But how was $2 million? Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Where my main man at? Bunny Badass. Let me ask you a question. How come $2 million is not enough money for Sean Porter to fight Terence Crawford but $2 million was enough money to fight Errol Spence when he had the belt. Explain that to me. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm asking because I really, really want to know. Like that's what kind of like getting me too. You know what I mean? It ain't none of these fighters are afraid of each other. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Sean Porter, none of these. When you're on that level, nobody's afraid of anybody. But what happens is the politics get in the way. This guy go to thinking he hot shit over here. That guy go to thinking he hot shit over there. This guy, well, you got to do this and do that. Listen, PBC got a whole bunch of fighters, and you got a lot of fighters on the PBC. They can't even fight each other. You see what I'm saying? So let's go. Halim, Crawford can fill Wembley Stadium with Eddie Hearn. I think Crawford his contract is up with Top Rank in October. I think Crawford needs to get with MTK Global. You know what I mean? In my opinion, and I don't know if he'll sell at Wembley Stadium. You know, I don't know, man. The UK have diehard boxing fans, so I think they will. I think they will. You know what I mean? I don't know. Errol Spence must be smoking something for him to say that he's the A side. He's using the A side of a thing to duck Terence Crawford. Facts. Yeah, I mean, they're saying he's the A side because he's doing 300,000 pay-per-view buys. He's doing 300,000 pay-per-view buys, 350,000 pay-per-view buys. You know what I mean? So they say he the A side. These are the same people who are saying that Terence Crawford is Errol Spence is the biggest star of Canelo Alvarez. These are the same people that are saying this. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I mean, because his one fight with Danny Garcia did more than Canelo Alvarez and when he fought Rocky Fielding. That one fight. Now, Errol Spence has a net worth of $7 million, but he's the big fish in the pond. You know, and I think Terence Crawford has a net worth of $8 million. You see what I'm saying? So how does a guy with a net worth of $7 million is a big fish, and he's only doing 300,000 pay-per-view buys? I'm old enough to remember, guys, that Floyd Mayweather was doing way bigger numbers of that. Anything that's under 500,000 pay-per-view buys is a flop. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. You know what I mean? So I mean, just cut it out. But Errol, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I like Errol Spence, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to cap for him because you have enough channels that's doing that. You have enough channels that's pro Errol Spence. You know, they love everything about him. You know, and I get that. You know what I mean? But I think that as it relates to Sean Porter, the Errol Spence and the Crawford fight is not going to happen. That's done. Errol Spence Sean Porter Terence Crawford clearly said that he's tired of playing games. To put yourself in his shoes, he comes to the welterweight. He's been in the welterweight division for 3 years. 3 years, guys. How do you be in the welterweight division for 3 years, have a belt, and nobody on the PBC wants to fight you? You're trying to make these fights, and the roadblock and the excuse has been you with Bob Arum. When you leave Bob Arum, then we'll fight you. But guess what? PBC and Top Rank, they cross promote and have fights all the time. Tyson Fury's with Top Rank. Last time I checked, Deontay Wilder's with PBC. How come that fight can get made? You see what I'm saying? Terence Crawford has fought a PBC fighter since he's been welterweight, and I'm trying to figure out which one it was. Because I don't want to. You know what? No, he hasn't. He hasn't fought any PBC fighters since he's been welterweight. I was wrong on that. All of the fighters that he fought since he's been welterweight has been top ranked fighters. Mean Machine, David Benavidez, the guy Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, he's not. Is he with top rank? He might be. He might was at the time. Let's see. He fought Miracon and he fought Kell Brook. Those two wasn't with Top Rank. But what I'm saying is Top Rank and PBC, they have fighters that fight each other all the time. But for some reason, when it comes to Terence Crawford, everything changes. Everything changes. You know, Crawford ain't gonna never be undisputed champion in the welterweight division because PBC fighters won't fight him. And then the guy who had the belts won't fight him. So now Crawford wants to fight. Was trying to say he wanted to fight what the guy named Ugas. You know what I mean? Because Ugas got the WBA strap, you know. Now, one thing I do disagree with that Crawford did, you know, he was chasing Manny Pacquiao too damn long. Why are you trying to fight Manny Pacquiao? You know what I mean? You couldn't fight Manny Pacquiao, Crawford, when Manny Pacquiao was with Top Rank. So when he was with Top Rank, you couldn't fight Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight you at all. So why are you still chasing him? So, and I'm not saying that Crawford is chasing Manny Pacquiao now. At one point in time when he had the belt, he did, but now that the belt has been stripped from him and given to Ugas, now Crawford is saying that he'll fight Ugas. You see what I'm saying? So it's obviously that he wants another belt. That's what it's all about. But he's frustrated. You see what I'm saying? So again, the alphabet boy narrative, the LDBC narrative is Crawford is a dog. He's this, he's that. He's terrible. He's this, he's that. They do say that he's a good fighter, but he need to be realistic, yada, yada, yada. But they don't say nothing bad or no criticism towards anybody that's from the PBC. That's how they do it. And my job is to be the counter narrative to them. And that's what I'm doing. So to sum it up, Crawford is not ducking no damn body. You know what I mean? Yeah, he on Twitter going back and forth with fans talking about, yeah, he's afraid and he's this, he's that, whatever. And he's have laughing emojis. He really doesn't care. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford is kind of reminds me of Marvin Hagler from an attitude standpoint. Hagler, a lot of people didn't like Hagler in the 80s. You know what I mean? When I say a lot of people, of course, diehard fight fans did, but Hagler was kind of like the bad guy. Hagler had a bad attitude. He didn't give a damn, but he was able to get big fights. And Hagler was with Top Rank. He was able to get big fights and make stuff happen and get it done. In this era, you don't get these fighters ain't really, they're not. Yeah, it's not good right now. You can say what you want to say about Don King, you know, but when Don King was a promoter, we got all the big fights. Like from a business standpoint, a fighter may be upset with Don King, but from a fan standpoint, you cannot say we did not get big fights when Don King was at the top of his game. We always got big fights with Don King. You see what I'm saying? And even with Bob Arum, Bob Arum has a history of making big fights. But in today's era in boxing, you know, it's just not there. It's just not there. You know what I mean? So, you know, but anyways, let me address everybody in the chat because I've been rambling on. I just want to give everybody a shot and see what they say. Okay. So Adam Mack, what do you say? Adam Mack. Oh, you was addressing this to J Mack. He can, but he ain't a champion. So people saying Bud avoiding Porter, but look who is in position to force a fight. But it's always reversed back to money. So is it about Bud being scared or is it the dollars? Man, you make a valid point. You know what I mean? Sean Porter's in a position to force this fight. Why he hasn't activated his mandatory? Someone who is pro these pro PBC fight channels, they will not address that at all. They won't address that at all. And then they'll say, well, you know, if he enforces mandatory, he's only going to get 25% of what the purse is. I say, okay, well, take it to a purse bid. If Sean Porter is this great fighter, which he is a great fighter, and Terence Crawford is a great fighter, which he is a great fighter, you would think that the pro PBC channels will have faith that if this fight, if Sean Porter activates his mandatory and it goes to a purse bid, that hey, listen, this fight, somebody will pick it up and pay Sean Porter what he wants. But they won't address that. See, that's why I'm the counter narrative. I don't even hear Kurt talking about that from that aspect, Kurt or Showbiz. So my thing is this here, activate the mandatory. You know, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, this person's scared of that person. Okay, please. Sean Porter, you the mandatory on the fight, Terence Crawford, right? Why you haven't activated the mandatory? Why I got to go back to Crawford? Crawford's scared. Crawford can't make Sean Porter activate the mandatory. So what is Crawford supposed to do? I offer you $2 million. Well, Bob Arum offer you $2 million. You turn it down, say it's not enough money. Not enough money. So what is Crawford supposed to do? I'm going to go and put a gun to his head and make him activate the mandatory so that he can fight me. And then he can go to a purse bid. He can't do that. So Crawford is in a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then with the Errol Spence situation, he's frustrated. He's been a champion in the welterweight division for 3 years, and he still hasn't fought Spence. I'm the big fish. I'm this, I'm that. And Errol Spence never made him an offer. Forget what you say verbally. Have you sent him an offer? That hasn't been done. So he's tired. And what Terence Crawford doesn't understand is he's frustrated with the politics of boxing. It don't got too damn political right now. Because when Terence Crawford was a lightweight, he was a champion there. He didn't have any issues getting fights. When he became a junior welterweight, he became unified junior welterweight champion. He didn't have any issues getting fights. But now he's here in the welterweight division. Everything changed. He's a duck. He's scared. He ain't fought nobody. He got to be realistic. You know, I mean, these guys really don't like Terence Crawford. They really don't. I don't know if it's because he's dark skinned or or he's not a PBC. Well, we know it's because he's not a PBC fighter. But these guys are something else. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? But it's definitely because he's not a PBC fighter. So Dansu, what do you say? Crawford is right to walk away from Errol, the ducking Spence. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, at this point, 3 years, I'll be done with it too. I just have to walk away from that too. I think Crawford is fed up with chasing Spence now that he has a fight that he can lose. Yeah, you know what I mean? Absolutely. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to hit the like button. What you say, Halim? Yeah, smash the like button, fight fans. Respect. Absolutely. Okay, Marion Green. Crawford is very frustrated. Yes, he is. He's very frustrated. Very, very frustrated. And I can see that. They offered Amir Khan $7 million. Khan wasn't a champion. J Mac, you're right about that. Well, I don't know exactly what Amir Khan got offered, but if he got offered $7 million, you right about that. So my point is this here. Do you think that Sean Porter should get offered $7 million? What do you think about that? Sean Porter got offered $2 million to fight Errol Spence. So, like, make sense to me. Tell me, why should Top Rank offer Sean Porter $7 million or $6 million or $5 million when he fought Errol Spence for $2 million? You see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna roll with you on this. Right? Answer that question for me to make me, so you can give me more clarity. Because if let me tell you this too, J Mac. If Sean Porter wants more money, activate the mandatory clause. Bob Arum said that they'll let it go to purse bid and see how much money the market is willing to pay him in the purse bid. Al Haymon got the money to pay him, right? Al Haymon is the man. He got the money, right? So somebody will be able to put that money up if that's what Sean Porter wants. I'm just saying, answer that question for me, J Mac, because I'm trying to get some answers, and no one is some of these other channels has been addressing that aspect of it. Okay, Toby Ball, if Bud was PBC and Errol was Top Rank, they'd be saying Bud deserves 70-30 because he's a 3-weight champion. Boogeyman. Yeah, absolutely. When it's a PBC fighter, the whole narrative changes. You hit the nail right on the head, Toby. You hit the nail right on the head. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Let's see. Marion Green, what do you say? He's not in Mayweather. That talk crap. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, everybody, when they go to say you on the other side of the street, you this, you that, they trying to be Mayweather, but they don't have Mayweather money. Errol Spence has a net worth of $7 million. How in the hell that's a cash cow? Listen, when you have a net worth of $7 million and you ain't really making no hell of a money as a welterweight, I'm just saying, like I'm calling it like it is. Terence Crawford has a net worth of like $8 million. So neither one of them have a whole lot of money. You see what I'm saying? To be honest with you, because they get paid. Like Terence Crawford's getting paid anywhere from $4 million to $4.5 million. Now he don't keep all of that because Uncle Sam is going to take about 40% of that. Right? So Uncle Sam takes 40% of that. Top Rank gonna get their cut, and then he got to pay his management team. So he may walk away with like $2 million, if that. You know what I mean? If that, right? Or a little less than that, right? And then Errol Spence, the same thing. Errol Spence don't have a promotion company, but once he get paid his $2 million, he make for a fight. And then the numbers roll in from the pay-per-view, which may take him to $3.5 million or maybe even $4 million. Al Haymon gonna get his cut, and then IRS got to get their cut, and then he got to pay his management team. So they in the same boat financially. You see what I'm saying? But if you listen to those other channels, you'll think this guy was pulling in Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez money or Anthony Joshua money, and he's clearly not. But this is the argument that they're using for why this fight can't get made and why this person should take this percentage and that percentage. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Thomas Vasey, what do you say? That zero has to go. It's disappointing in boxing. It disappoints boxing. We're paying for fights that we don't get. Man, absolutely, man. I just want to see, like me, I want to see Terence Crawford fight Sean Porter. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, Sean Porter don't deserve no fight. No, Sean Porter, I like Sean Porter a lot. I think Terence Crawford would beat him. You know what I mean? But I want to see Terence Crawford and Sean Porter. The Errol Spence fight, that ain't happening. You know what I mean? But the Sean Porter and Terence Crawford fight is very, very real. That can happen. But what no one is addressing is Sean Porter turned down $2 million offer, and he hasn't enforced his mandatory. So if Sean Porter really wants to fight Crawford and you don't like the money, why haven't you activated your mandatory? Please, someone answer that. Please, someone answer that for me. All right, let's see. Adam M., what do you say? I agree with you. So it's a money issue. It ain't because Bud is scared to fight Porter. Bud will make Porter easy work, and Al Heyman knows it. So yeah, I want to know why Al Heyman won't put the money up for the fight. That's what I want to know. Bud is obviously sick of the games of the PBC. Feel for him. He's being held back from his true potential by his inability to get the fights. Yeah, so the good news is this. This is on March? October is on 7 months away? Bud contract is up in 7 months. He's going to fight somebody this year, right? So, we're going to address Virgil Ortiz too. J Matt, what do you say? Bud has a great deal with Top Rank. He's fighting dudes like Mean Machine for $4.5 million. He keeps looking dominant while taking minimum risk. Yeah, and I think every fighter do that. Deontay Wilder's a perfect example of that. He like Deontay Wilder has a net worth of like $35 million, and he made most of that fighting Tyson Fury. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but he is trying to make the fights. But Terence Crawford, he doesn't have the gift of gab like Floyd Mayweather. He's not a marketable guy, and that's my favorite fighter. But he's not a marketable guy in that aspect. He's just a boxer. You know what I mean? And to me, Errol Spence is not a marketable guy. But he's with the PBC, and they're making roughly the same amount of money. But he's the big fish. He's like for you to be the big fish, Canelo was the big fish. Anthony Joshua was a big fish. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else is just fish. You see what I'm saying? There's only two big fish in boxing from a dollar standpoint, and that's Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua. Everybody else is just chilling. You see what I'm saying? So, unless y'all know some more fighters that's making Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua money, please let me know. Crawford should sign up with Eddie Hearn. Yeah, I would love to see Crawford sign up with Eddie Hearn, or at least go to MTK Global. I would love to see that. Errol Spence must be smoking something. Okay, I looked at some of these. Let me address everybody else. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. They didn't offer Khan $7 million. They gave it to him. Okay. I'm not. I mean, they offered him $7 million, so they gave him $7 million for the fight. They overpaid, in my opinion. Bob Arum overpaid, in my opinion, and Bob Arum lost money in that fight. He lost money in that fight. That's his fault. You see what I'm saying? Why would you pay Amir Khan $7 million? That's ridiculous. Amir Khan in this stage in his career. Come on, man. Amir Khan he ain't worth no $7 million, but Sean Porter ain't worth no $7 million neither. Sean Porter got paid $2 million to fight Errol Spence, and Sean Porter was a champion as well. So make that make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. Hence, Errol got a better resume. J Mac, you're right. Errol has a better resume at welterweight. He fought Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was a lightweight. So you want to count Mikey Garcia? He was a lightweight. He fought Sean Porter, and he fought Danny Garcia. He didn't fight Keith Thurman, but this is who he fight. So these three fighters, you can say, and he fought Kell Brook. But when he fought Kell Brook, even though he was damaged goods from Triple G, he was the man. But then when Errol Spence fight him, Kell Brook was washed up. So I'm seeing all of the, bro, like for the life of me, no one is seeing the double standard. And I think it's because they don't want to see it. Because what happens is when you are so pro one fighter, you don't see anything else. You only see what you want to see when you are a pro one fighter. That fighter can drink a fifth of Hennessy in your face in the locker room right before he walks in the ring, and you will find a reason. Now, I'm not talking about you, J Mac. Not you, J Mac. I'm not saying that's what you do, but you get what I'm saying. I know you've been around people. They are so pro some way that they don't have an objective bone in their body. But it's cool though. J Mac, okay. But I say again, nobody's on L's resume beats Bud. And another thing, remember they offered Danny Garcia $4 million. Bob Arum did. Danny Garcia turned it down. His father turned it down. I remember that like it was yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like these fights was not trying to be made. They did try to offer. Remember, the reason why they paid Amir Khan, they offered Danny Garcia $4 million to fight Terence Crawford. Danny Garcia's dad said they wanted more money than that. So he ended up settling for Amir Khan. So they made an offer to Danny Garcia. He turned it down. They made an offer to Sean Porter. He turned it down. So when the fighters turned down money to fight Terence Crawford, how was Terence Crawford ducking? I mean, that's what I don't understand. He ain't got nobody on this resume. Okay, well, he tried to get Sean Porter on this resume for $2 million. He don't want to fight. Sean Porter hasn't even activated his mandatory clause. So what is, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's my counter argument. Okay, you say he ducking. I'll run with that. He's ducking. Okay, well, how come Sean Porter has not activated the mandatory clause? Is Sean Porter ducking too? Are they ducking each other? Why he won't enforce the mandatory? Like, make that make sense to me. All right, let's see. Dead game boxing. Lamborghini's gold chain, big house, trick and take the rest. Okay, what do you say? The Ghost of Bully song. Glad to catch a live, coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, brother, for being here. J Mac. What does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about who has a more impressive resume. Okay. Who has the most impressive resume? Errol Spence has a better welterweight resume. He doesn't have a better boxing resume, if that makes sense to you. And I'm gonna explain that. From a boxing accomplishment standpoint, Terence Crawford has been a champion in 3 different weight divisions, right? He's been undisputed in 1 weight division. So when you look at that from a boxing resume standpoint, he has a better boxing resume. Errol Spence, J-Mac, has a better welterweight resume, just based on 4 fights. Kell Brook, then Terence Crawford fought Kell Brook, but so he fought him too. Terence Crawford fought Amir Khan, if you want to look at names. You know what I mean? Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, who was a lightweight. He was a lightweight. 300,000 pay-per-view buys. 360,000 pay-per-view buys. That was his biggest pay-per-view. Mikey Garcia brought, and that was terrible. 360,000 pay-per-view buys is terrible, bro. I'm telling you, I'm 47 years old. I'm telling you, I've been watching pay-per-view fights for a long time. When you look at when you Google the top 10, top 15, top 20 pay-per-view sales in boxing of all time, none of Errol Spence's pay-per-views add up. And Terence Crawford is doing worse than Errol Spence. Terence Crawford can't sell a good pay-per-view to save his life. And that's my favorite fighter. So boxing resume from a welterweight standpoint, yes, he fought Kell Brook, but Terence Crawford fought Kell Brook too. He fought Mikey Garcia, but Mikey Garcia was a lightweight. He fought Mikey Garcia don't fight at welterweight. He's a lightweight. He fought Danny Garcia and he fought Sean Porter. Now, 2 of my favorite fights that Errol Spence fought was Sean Porter and Amir Khan. I love those 2 fights, and I never take anything away from Errol Spence as related to that. And now Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, that was terrible. Like, those guys, he dominated both of them. He ran through them. You see what I'm saying? So those wasn't good fights. Those wasn't good fights at all.
Hey, Leroy.
Hey, what's going on? Ronald Finkley, what's going on, fam? Good looking out for the super chat. Let me see where you at. But J Mac, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you. If you want to say, okay, Errol Spence has a better resume at welterweight, okay, that's fine. But why that fight is not happening? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. All right, now, Crawford is the face of being ducked. All right, resumes don't win fights, J Mac. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. When people go to talk about resumes, they use that as an excuse for why their fighter shouldn't fight the other guy. And I'm not saying that's what J Mac is doing, but that's what they normally do. You know what I mean? And so now he's trying to fight PBC fighters. He offered Danny Garcia $4 million. That would have been good on his resume, but Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him. He offered Sean Porter $2 million. That would have been good on his resume. Sean Porter didn't want to fight for the $2 million. Sean Porter won't even activate the mandatory clause. So what is he supposed to do? Like what is he supposed to do? If I'm trying to fight you, let's say I'm a professional boxer, J Mac, and you're a professional boxer, and I'm trying to fight you, and you tell me, man, you ain't got nobody on your resume, but you're a good fighter, but you don't want to fight me. But you keep saying that I got a better resume than you, and then I fight one guy that I fought with the same guy that you fought. You fought Kell Brook and beat him. I fought Kell Brook and beat him. And then you tell me, well, when you fought Kell Brook, he was nobody. So now you diminishing. It's like you diminishing everything. Okay, but I fought the same fighter you fought, and I stopped him in the 4th round. Yeah, but that was different. He was damaged goods. But when you fought him, he was damaged goods. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is crazy. You know what I mean? If Spence Crawford don't do 50-50 split, it would still be a lot of money for both of them. Yeah, because I think the interest of that fight, DW, the interest of that fight here in the United States is real big. People want to see that fight. More Danny has a chance also. Yeah, but they offered Bunny Badass. Remember, they offered Danny Garcia $4 million. He turned it down, and he ended up fighting. So that's why Crawford ended up fighting Amir Khan. You know, so the whole PBC welterweight stable is ducking Crawford. As a matter of fact, let's look at this. Barry Cole, what do you say? Because Al Heyman hasn't got the cash. Why Al Heyman won't put the money up for this fight? They all listen. All PBC say, go talk to Al. Go talk to Al. Al this, Al that, Al that, Al this. We hear a lot of Al Heyman. I hear a lot of Al Heyman, right? But for some reason, he won't put this money up for this fight. So let's look at this. Bunny Badass. You know you don't really believe that Crawford KOs Danny and Sean. I'm gonna be honest with you now. You know I'm a diehard Terence Crawford fan. I don't know if he would KO. I don't know. I just want to see that fight. Because it depends. If the fighter goes in the shell and balls up, you know, there's nothing you can do. And Sean Porter is a bad boy. He got 3 losses in a draw. And in my opinion, he did lose to Ugas, but they gave it to him, in my opinion. Ugas knocked him down. I think Ugas got robbed in that fight. But Sean Porter and Terence Crawford is a fight I want to see, man. I just want to see that fight. He better not sign with PBC. Nah, I don't think he will because he's frustrated. Listen, you have PBC fighters that can't fight each other. Listen, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence can't fight each other. Look, what about what's my main man name? Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. fights once a year. They have a plethora of PBC fighters over there that Gary Russell Jr. can fight in his weight division, and they can't make those fights happen. So it's not like if you with the PBC, everybody in the PBC fight each other. Everybody, even other fighters in the PBC, can't get fights with other PBC fighters. Keith Thurman can't even get a fight with Errol Spence. And when Errol Spence was calling Keith Thurman out, Errol Spence wouldn't fight Keith Thurman. This is what these guys do. They even play games with each other like that. And now Errol Spence wants to fight Ugas. Ugas is telling Errol Spence it's a 50-50 fight. So you know what I mean? And I can't tell Ugas that he's wrong. Does Errol Spence got a better resume than Ugas? And if he does, Ugas feel like he should get 50-50. Why Ugas and Errol Spence fight can't be made? And they're on the same side of the street. What did Sean reject $2 million to fight Crawford? You got to go to his channel. I was on his YouTube channel. Go to the Porterways podcast. The Porterway podcast. And this is on Sean Porter's channel. He said he did offer him $2 million, and he said, but that's not enough money. He said because a fight of this magnitude is going to be way bigger than that. This is what Sean Porter said on the Porterway podcast. I would advise you, DW, to go to his podcast and look it up. That's what he said. I watched all of his stuff. Crawford is staying with Top Rank. I don't know. I haven't heard. Have you heard Crawford say that? The Boxing Jedi. Have you heard Crawford say that he's staying with Top Rank? If you heard him say that, please let me know where I can find that at. I haven't heard him say that. You know, so I haven't heard him say that. So let's see what's going on. Boxing Blues. I want to address people. Let's see. Pay-per-view is dead. Pay-per-view is about to be dead. Yeah, absolutely. Pound for pound boxing, real news. Yeah, man, the pay-per-view model is dead. It's terrible. When you got like Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, he does terrible pay-per-view numbers. Terrible. You know what I mean? 225,000 against Luis Ortiz, 300,000 against Tyson Fury, the first fight. Now the second fight they did a lot better. He did 800 to 850,000. That was a lot better, and that was for a heavyweight championship fight. So it ain't but a couple fighters doing good numbers in pay-per-view, and that's Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua. Now the Rocky Fielding fight, well, he's with the Zone. He didn't really do that well, but now Canelo's finna fight Billy Joe Saunders. That's going to do astronomical numbers. They sold out like 20,000 tickets in like one day, within hours. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, all those pro PBC fighters channels were saying that Errol Spence is the new cash cow. He sold more than Canelo Alvarez. How in the hell he the new cash cow and he's worth $7 million? Like, do you see, like, dude, like the stuff that some of these channels say is like ridiculous. Canelo Alvarez, is one of the highest paid fighters in boxing. You see what I'm saying? Errol Spence did one event that outdid Canelo Alvarez by a few thousand, and Errol Spence is this new pay-per-view star. He's bigger than Canelo Alvarez. How? He's doing 360,000 pay-per-view buys with Mikey Garcia. He did 300,000 with Sean Porter. He did 200 or something thousand with Danny Garcia. Those are terrible numbers. And then Errol Spence and then Terence Crawford does worse than that. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, that ain't making no sense to me. Like, I'm a numbers guy. I look at the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Errol Spence, Terence Crawford making roughly the same amount of money. Period. Okay, let's I'm finna show it to you guys. I'm gonna show it to you guys right now. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. I'm gonna share it with you right now. Let's do this. Let's do it. I'm gonna show it to you guys so you guys don't think I'm just capping. I don't want you thinking I'm just capping. All right, I said it wrong. I said Errol Spence is worth $7 million. Let's see. Net worth 220. Let me share this with you guys right now. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Let me know. As a matter of fact, let me get this subscribe thing out of the way. Move this out of the way. All right. Let me know if you can see this, guys. Blow it up for you. Can you see this? It says Errol Spence Jr. So you guys don't think I'm capping. Errol Spence Jr. net worth 2021. Age, height, weight, girlfriend, dating, yada, 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 yada. This is just a simple DuckDuckGo search that I did, right? And it says right here, he's from Long Island, New York, as you can see. That was where he was born at. Net worth in 2021, as you can see right here, $8 million, right? But he's the cash cow he's bigger than Canelo Alvarez, according to some of these other channels. Now let's look at Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford has a net worth a little less than Errol Spence. So let's see. Terence Crawford net worth. So we're gonna pull this up right now, guys. So like me, I go straight to the numbers, man. I go straight to the numbers. See, when guys go to talking about this guy worth this and he got this and he should be such and such, Terence Crawford has a net worth of $8 million. Do you guys see this? Let's go here. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Okay, thanks for the thumbs up. You see what I'm saying? They both have a net worth of the same. You know what I mean? So like when people go to talking, this guy's such a big, huge star and this and that and yada 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 yada. I'm like, yeah, now Terence Crawford is doing terrible pay-per-view numbers. I'm admitting that, but Errol Spence is doing better pay-per-view numbers than Crawford. But when you're doing 300,000 and 200,000, 225,000, and 250,000 with Danny Garcia, those are terrible numbers. Terrible. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, I'm just being honest. But his numbers is better than Crawford. I will say that. But they both have a net worth of $8 million. But if you listen to these other channels, you'll think that Errol Spence Jr. was this. You'll think that he was making buku money. That's what you would think. You see what I'm saying? And that's just not the case, guys. That's just not the case. So I hope I was able to clear that up. Let me remove this. All right, I hope I was able to clear that up. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. You know what you say? Got y'all. Check it out. No problem. All right, DW, man. Yeah, man. Good looking out, man. Yeah, just check out the Portaway podcast, bro. He did address that on his podcast. He did address on his podcast. 8 million AJ pocket change. Yeah, $8 million. They got both of them got a net worth of $8 million. The same. Listen, Errol Spence got a better welterweight resume than Terence Crawford, right? Because Sean Porter won't activate his mandatory clause, and then Danny Garcia turned down the $4 million offer. Sean Porter turned down the $2 million offer. He addressed it on this podcast, and he got a better resume, but he only has a net worth of $8 million. Him and Terence Crawford got the same net worth. Like, they don't address that in these other channels. Do you notice that? I'm the only one on YouTube that's doing this. You see what I'm saying? You know, so I mean, I'm just saying, bro, like, whew, and I'm not banging on nobody. I'm just calling it right down the middle. J Mac, what do you say? The resume comment was in response to Shelton, who said Errol isn't the man at 147 and Bud is. But I was countering with Errol should since hey J Mac, I apologize for that, bro. But no, I agree with you, J Mac, that Errol Spence does have a better welterweight resume than Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter. I agree with you on that. I can't argue that. You see what I'm saying? The only common fighter that they have in common that they fought was Kell Brook. And I think Errol Spence stopped him in the 11th round, and Terence Crawford stopped him in the 4th round. So that's it. But Errol Spence was able to get the Porter fight, and he was able to get to Danny Garcia fight, and he got the Mikey Garcia fight. You know what I mean? But that's because they all PBC fighters. But he can't. But he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. And then when Keith Thurman was the champion, Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Errol Spence. So it is what it is. So it's not just that if you're a PBC fighter, all PBC fighters fight each other. They don't. As a matter of fact, we're going to go over here and look at PBC's. Hey, do you guys want to see PBC's roster? They have like 146 fighters. They have like 146 fighters, and there's only a handful of them that's making some money. And if Errol Spence is one of the cash cows of the PBC that's making money, then that tells you something. The rest of those fighters ain't making nothing. I'm going to show you this. Crawford and Hearn will be great. Eddie Hearn. I like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn gonna make it happen. J Mac never said who was the man at 47. Said Errol or Bud can't make that claim unless they fight each other. What do you say? He fought Easter Jr. before him on Lippiness. You're talking about Mikey Garcia. Yeah. Ronald Finkler, what do you say? Working and listening. Yeah, man, I'm good looking out, fam. I know you're at work, brother. He gave Mikey 50-50. Ugar should get that. Yeah, he gave Mikey 50-50 because Mikey bring a big Mexican fan base, and they still only did 360,000 pay-per-view buys. But then at the live gate, I think they did pretty good at the live gate as well. You know what I mean? I think they did decent. You know, because the Mexicans love Mikey Garcia. They love Mikey Garcia. They love him to death, and they fought in Texas, so that's that was pretty good. That was Errol Spence's largest pay-per-view with Mikey Garcia, the largest one. Danny Garcia did worse than that. Danny Garcia, he did 220 something thousand. I'm gonna look that up too. So what you say? Wilder who? The man is hiding from Andy now. I'm gonna stick down. I haven't heard him say he's leaving either, coach. Yeah, I haven't heard him say he's leaving. You know what I mean? But I haven't heard him say he's staying. So you see what I'm saying, Boxing Jedi? I can't assume. This is the type of person I am. Unless I hear that fighter or a main representative from that fighter's camp come out and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, that's when I run with that. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to assume or speculate. You know what I mean? But we know his contract is up. His contract is up in October. That's facts. But Terence Crawford hasn't said anything about that. Good God, boxing is back on tonight. Amanda Serrano versus Daniela Bermudez. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. That's going to be a good fight. I got to watch that. Absolutely. The Boxing Jedi, what do you say? It's all on the agenda with the PBC fighters. Yeah, it is. It is. Canelo versus BJ Saunders sold out. Mr. Agnes 245. Canelo and BJ Saunders sold out. I think it sold out like one day. One day. Canelo Alvarez. But remember when Canelo fought Rocky Fielding, and I think Errol Spence fought, I want to say Sean Porter, and all of these pro PBC channels was like, yes, this is proof. Errol Spence outsold Canelo Alvarez. He's the new cash cow. Remember that? Oh my God. Like, bro, Canelo Alvarez? Are you kidding me? Bro, okay, let's do this. Since we on resumes, let's do this. Let's look at And what Canelo was 30 years old and he has 54 fights and he's fought. Man, Canelo, bad boy, man. I ain't got nothing. I have nothing to say about Canelo. Nothing. Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow of boxing. Him and what's my main man name? Anthony Joshua. Let me see. Canelo Alvarez net worth 2021. So when these pro PBC fighters go to talking about Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence is outsold Canelo, and he's the face. You know, he's the cash cow. He has more star power than Canelo. Show him this. Show him this right. I'm gonna share this with you guys. You know, that's crazy. I don't even want to bring Canelo up in this conversation because it don't make no sense. But I'm gonna let you guys see this. I have to. I gotta let you guys see this. I have to let you guys see this. Add the stream. Let me know if you can see this, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this. You should be able to see this. Canelo Alvarez. Let's look at this. Canelo Alvarez's net worth. Canelo Alvarez, Mexican superstar, Mexican professional boxer Canelo Saul Alvarez has a net worth of $150 million as of 2021. So tell me, how in the hell is this guy outselling Errol Spence Jr., Canelo Alvarez? 8 million versus 150 million. Child to the please. These pro PBC channels are crazy, man. Like literally. I understand that you want to cap for your guy. There's nothing wrong with that. But bro, you guys say outlandish stuff. Like Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is on the same level. They're on the same level. Shout out to Ronald Finkley for the super chat, fam. Shout out for the super chat.
Hey, Leroy. Super chat received.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I really appreciate that, fam. I'm going to put that on the screen right quick. DW, what do you say? Who doing over 350K pay-per-view buys besides Wilder in the Fury fight? Errol Spence, DW. Errol Spence did it with Mikey Garcia. I think he did like 360, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, wait a minute. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua. Well, Canelo's with the zone, but Anthony Joshua. Bro, you got Anthony Joshua. You got Tyson. You got Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Wilder did 800,000 in their second fight. And prior to Wilder fighting Tyson Fury, his numbers was terrible. You see what I'm saying? Like Wilder was doing like 200,000 and stuff like that. So Tyson Fury was a blessing to him from a financial standpoint, and Deontay Wilder was a blessing to Tyson Fury as well. They needed each other. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you got Canelo and Anthony Joshua are the top dogs, hands down, when it comes to star power and bringing money and filling up stadiums. I mean, that is what it is, man. Like, you know, and I'm not even a fan of I'm not a diehard Anthony Joshua fan like that, or a diehard Canelo fan. I'm a diehard Terence Crawford fan. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you, but I'm a fan of Joshua and I'm a fan of Canelo. You see what I'm saying? They are great fighters. I love both of those fighters. And I'm a fan of Tyson Fury. Like Tyson Fury. And believe it or not, I know I bang on Wilder, but I like Wilder too. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter, but a terrible boxer. But you guys see this, right? You guys see this. So let me go ahead and remove. You guys see that. You see what I'm saying? Like when they go to saying this stuff, it just take the banner. Oh, sorry about that. Take the banner down. I think sorry about that. Sorry about that, fam. Let me put it back up. Let me put it back up. All right, there you go. Let me know if you guys see this. So that's Errol Spence. Let's go to Canelo. Canelo has a net worth of $150 million. Sorry about that, guys. I had the banner up and didn't even realize it. Thank you for telling me, DW. Thank you, brother, for telling me. $150 million. So you got Big Bank, 150 plus 8. 150 and 8. You see what I'm saying? And then Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders sold out in one day. You know what I mean? Like, 20 some hours or whatever the case may be. Literally like one day. Come on, man. Come on. Let's talk facts. No, this. So I don't even want to bring Canelo into this conversation because it's not fair. It's not fair to compare. But the reason why I brought it up is because these pro PBC channels, the Alphabet Boys, they talk like, yeah, Canelo did bad against Rocky Fielding, and Errol Spence outsold him in that one fight. He did more pay-per-view numbers. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying, though? Emmett Oliver, what do you say? Lots of fighters are protected now. Their promoters want to milk them dry. Yeah, man, and that's the problem. That's the problem. It's really not the fighters. Like I remember, man, when Don King was in the game, you got the listen, perfect example. Tito Trinidad, 1999, was a Don King Promotions fighter. Oscar De La Hoya was a top ranked fighter. Don King and Bob Arum hated each other. They've been battling each other for years, but they made that fight happen. You see what I'm saying? So there's always been this stuff. You're on the other side of the street. We can't work together. Boxing has a history of promotional companies working together. Now all of a sudden, when Errol Spence come in the game, you're on the other side of the street. Everybody want to be Floyd Mayweather. You're not Floyd Mayweather. You don't sell the tickets Floyd Mayweather sold. You don't have the drawing power Floyd Mayweather has. You're not the starter for Floyd Mayweather was. You didn't fight everybody like Floyd Mayweather. You didn't do none of the things that Floyd Mayweather did. But you want to be Floyd Mayweather. You're not even selling a tenth of what Floyd Mayweather does. But these PBC fighters is on this Floyd Mayweather shit because they're working with Al Heyman. And the only reason you know about Al Heyman is because of Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? Cut it out, man. That's what these guys do, man. It just Spence cherry picks who he fights. So let's see. All right, guys. I know we've been on this live for a while. We're gonna do about 10 more minutes and we're gonna wrap it up. So let me make sure I get everybody. I want to make sure I get some more questions and comments. Shelton Moore, what do you say, boardroom bully? The point I'm trying to make is that Errol beat the guys they put in front of him. Bud did the same. What great fighter did Errol beat? That's a good question. What great fighter did Bud beat? Did Errol beat? Mikey Garcia was a lightweight. I don't really count that. He beat Kell Brook. That was a great fighter. Danny Garcia was a flat-footed Puerto Rican fighter. He was a punching bag for 12 rounds. So Danny Garcia has lost all of his step-up fights. Danny Garcia is not a great fighter. So Danny Garcia is not a great fighter at all. He's a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. He lost against Sean Porter. He lost against Errol Spence. He lost against Keith Thurman. So when you look at Danny Garcia on your resume, he's lost to everybody who he's fought that was big. He had, his best fight was at 140. So Danny Garcia is not a great fighter. If you want to analyze the resumes, let's do that. Danny Garcia is not a great fighter. Sean Porter is a damn good fighter. So that was a damn good win. And Kell Brook is a damn good fighter. That was a damn good win. Mikey Garcia is a great fighter, but he was a lightweight. So you beat up on a little guy. So really, 2 fights were great that he had. Absolutely. And I cannot take that away from Spence. He did his thing. He just beat who they put in front of him. Now, Terence Crawford did the same thing. He beat Mean Machine. I never heard of Mean Machine. He beat Jeff Horn. Well, we know about Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. So he took that belt. And that was his first fight at welterweight. He beat Miracom, but Miracom was washed up. He beat David Benavidez. David Benavidez had one leg. You see what I'm saying? And he beat Miracom. No, he beat what's my main man name? Kell Brook. Kell Brook was, truth be told, he was touching Bud them first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? And then when Bud switched to southpaw, it was a wrap. He knocked the fight out of him. So that tell you that. You know what I mean? But that's just me being objective. If I wasn't objective, I'd be like, yo, man, Bud resume way better than Errol Spence. And he did this and he did that, and Spence ain't did nothing. I'm not trashing Spence for Bud, and Bud is my favorite fighter. But I'm not trashing him for that. I'm just being, I'm calling it like I see it. You know what I mean? But these fighters are protected now. You're right about that. Let's see. Lots of fighters are protected now. You're right about that, Emmett. Let's go. Emmett, what do you say? Look at AJ Hearn has milked. Look at AJ Hearn has milked him for years. And after the Ruiz beat down in New York City, they know it's cash out time. Fury will eat him. I don't think Eddie Hearn is milking. Listen, all promoters, the promoters are in the business to make money, Emmett. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua is worth 100 million pounds. So if he's milking him, you know what I mean? He's Anthony Joshua worth 100 million pounds. Period. That's equivalent to like 139 million US dollars. So Anthony Joshua and Tyson, Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez is pretty much on the same level. And Canelo Alvarez has had way more fights than Anthony Joshua, and they almost have the same net worth. So I don't agree with that. Anthony Hearn is milking him. You know what I mean? Because if he was milking him, he wouldn't be worth that. You know, but he's making a lot of money. And Anthony Joshua is real business savvy as well. Hello, my brother. John, what's going on? John, what's good, brother? What's good, fam? What's good? What you say? Crawford is right to stop chasing dude who can't even control his car. Yeah, Errol Spence got to stop drinking, man. You got to leave that alcohol alone, bro. Don't forget, Coach LDBC said AJ sold fake tickets when he sold out Madison Square Gardens. Funny how they don't report Canelo selling out. No, because Michael Buffer, it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their narrative. Anything that goes against, okay, they really don't. It's hard for them to hate on Canelo because he's such a great fighter. You know what I mean? But they do send sly jabs. But they are pro PBC. You never hear them say it. Like PBC is the greatest thing since gold. And I'm going to shoot a video. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to show you guys this before we shut this down. Peter Barnos, what's going on, fam? Crawford has some kind of attitude or something. I don't know. He won't fight Porter or Thurman, but he'll fight Josecito Lopez that is ranked 9th by the WBC. LOL. Yeah, right. Yeah, Crawford is fed up, Peter. He's fed up with chasing, and he's frustrated with the politics of boxing. Now, as related to Keith Thurman said he wanted $10 million. So what do you suggest that he does? Keith Thurman never made $10 million for a fight in his life. When he fought Manny Pacquiao, he didn't get paid no $10 million. He got paid a couple of $1 million. So what is it Bob Arum fault that he won't pay? And I'm being honest with Bob Arum now. Is he supposed to pay Keith Thurman $10 million? They offered Sean Porter $2 million. Tom Porter said that wasn't enough money. They offered him $1 million, and then they offered him $2 million. How do I know $2 million was offered to Sean Porter? Sean Porter said it himself out of his own mouth on his podcast, on the Portercast Podway, on the podcast, on the Porterway podcast. Sorry about that. So just subscribe to his channel, and you can find that video. It's there. I saw it. So it's not that Crawford don't want to fight Porter, and then Porter is the mandatory, Peter Barnox. Why he hasn't activated his mandatory? Make that make sense to me. So pay-per-view kings in the 90s. Yeah, the 90s and the early 2000s was the pay-per-view kings. And Floyd Mayweather is the last of the great pay-per-view fights. Floyd Mayweather is the last of that. Now, this Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight, that's going to be huge. That's going to be massive. That's going to be massive. Yeah, you're right. Edward Stevens, you're right. I made Jose Benavidez. You're right about that. Sorry about that. Wow. Why are we taking away from Crawford when that's all the division had to offer? I don't understand that. Well, you know, the welterweight division has some good champions. You have Crawford, you have Ugas, you have Errol Spence, of course, and then you have Sean Porter. He's a good fighter. Danny Garcia is not a great fighter. If you're a pro Danny fan, I like Danny Garcia, but he's not a great fighter, bro. Like Danny Garcia has lost. He's lost to Sean Porter. He's lost to Keith Thurman. He's lost to Errol Spence. And the worst I've ever seen him get beat was with Errol Spence. He was just a punching bag. He would not throw his hands. He pulled the Adrian Broner that night. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But listen, this is what we're gonna do. Why is Spence ducking for 4 years? No. Terence Crawford been a champion in the welterweight division for 3 years. So what you say, Peter Barnos? Who is Bud fighting? Nobody. What is Bud going to do when Spence takes Ugas belt? Yeah, well, you know, he got to fight somebody. You know what I mean? Like Spence, I want Porter. I want Sean Porter and Terence Crawford to fight each other. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and you're assuming that Spence going to take Ugas' belt. Well, he might because, you know, Ugas ain't no ego. Ugas want 50-50. So unless Errol Spence is willing to pay him 50%, that ain't going to be no fight. So Diallo Huggy, what do you say? These PBC guys are looking for career paydays against Crawford. They're asking for outrageous amounts of money against a guy they say can't sell. Diallo Huggy, you right about that, fam. This is Peter Barnos. What you got to say about that? You see what I'm saying? Because when it comes to Crawford, Sean Porter want more than $2 million, but he made $2 million fighting Errol Spence when he had the WBC strap. What do you have to say about that? You see what I'm saying? Keith Thurman, he's at home in Clearwater. He don't even fight anymore. He wants $10 million to fight Errol Spence. Terence Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? Like financially, how's that making sense? I get it. I know you don't like Crawford. I get that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But you got to make some sense for me. You got to make some sense for me, man. Spence ducking. You just heard what Bud said. He's past it. Yeah, Bud is done with it because he's been chasing him for 3 years. He's been chasing him for 3 years. But you won't acknowledge that. I know you won't acknowledge that, so that's cool. But he's been chasing him for 3 years. Remember, you ain't fought nobody. You got to get a belt. Then once you get the belt, you're on the other side of the street. You know, Spence said all that. Why you ain't addressing that? You know why? Because it doesn't fit your narrative. I get it. Okay, let's see. Why PBC are a bunch of duckers. You know what I mean? Yeah, pound for pound boxing, real news. You're right. Danny Garcia was great at 140. I wish him and Terence Crawford would have fought each other at 140. And I wish Danny Garcia would have fought Victor Postile when he was the man at that division too. But he didn't fight him. But yeah, Danny Garcia was great at 140. But at 147, the proof's in the pudding. I heard he's on the wrong side of the street. Yeah, he's on the wrong side of the street. Yeah, Sean Porter would give Bud all he wants. Yeah, but Sean Porter turned down $2 million. Sean Porter won't activate his mandatory clause. So in order for us to see Sean Porter give Bud all he wants, why he won't activate that mandatory clause? Tell me, answer, riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that, Peter. Let me know. What do you say? I like Bud all day. I like Bud all day too. But I'm saying, but why he won't? Why Sean Porter won't activate his mandatory clause and let that fight go to purse bid? Why Al Heyman won't put the money up to pay Sean Porter what he wants for the fight? Why I got to all be on Crawford? You see what I'm saying? Like, Porter hasn't had a KO in about a decade. Bud KO'd everyone he fought at 47. And Bud is a small guy. Porter been dropped plenty. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, I want to see them fight each other, though. I think that'd be a great fight. I will spin in Towers, Crawford. We say I will spin in Towers. Crawford will fight and go down. I just drink. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying, but Crawford is playing mind games. He just wants. Yeah, I think on New Money DMG, man, Crawford is just, he's frustrated, bro. Like, just imagine. When you at 140, you say you want to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence say you too small. You got to move up. You calling out Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman said you ain't fought nobody. Then he moves up to 147. Then they say, well, you got to get a belt. Then he gets a belt. Then they say, well, you ain't fought nobody. Your resume ain't good. You see what I'm saying? And then he try to make fights with these guys, but they say we ain't gonna fight you yet because you ain't you on the other side of the street. It's all so. Just imagine you going through that. Now it's 80-20. Come on, man. Let's see. Strap season. Yeah. Avoiding Crawford. Yeah, absolutely. Has Porter ever won a fight? Let's see. I heard 60. I heard 64 that was unreasonable. What about that? Well, that's how Terence Crawford feels. Me personally, I don't agree with that. But then the same guy said that 70-30. What about that? Then the same guy said 80-20. What about that? You got to address all of that. You see what I'm saying? And then those are not offers. That's just what someone's saying out of their mouth. You got to submit offers. Come on, man. I get it, but I get it though. I get it. I understand. Trust me, I get it. Trust me. It's Terence Crawford, so I get it. It's Terence Crawford. That pro PBC stuff, I get it. Trust me. Guarantee Crawford will be in the barn burner if he fought Mikey Garcia. If he fought Mikey Garcia, he'll knock Mikey Garcia out. Did you see what Errol Spence did to Mikey Garcia? And Errol Spence couldn't even knock him out. If he fight Mikey Garcia, he'll get knocked out. That's why Robert Garcia never allowed Mikey Garcia to fight on Terence Crawford. And he's smart. He's smart. You know what I mean? I believe that all day. Mikey Garcia will not step in the ring with him at all. Now let me address before I go. We got like 5 minutes. Let me address the let's see. Let me address let's see. Bud is doing the right thing. I suspect that he will be a free agent in October, and he's sending a message to all the Duckers and then Cohorts to be falling for the trap. Yeah. I don't like to throw the duck word around from these fighters because I think when you're on this level, nobody's afraid of anybody. But I think it's just certain fights are easier to get made versus other fights. You know what I mean? Oh, now Spence was joking. 70-30, 80-20, Spence was joking. Okay, but when Terence Crawford say that he don't want to fight anymore with Errol Spence, how come you didn't say he was joking? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, you can interpret Errol Spence saying 80-20, 70-30, he was joking, but with Terence Crawford saying, forget the 50-50, I'm done chasing these guys, now he's ducking. Why you didn't turn around and say, oh, Terence Crawford was just joking? Do you get what I'm saying? This is the bias I'm talking about. This is the bias I'm talking about. When it fits the narrative, you speak for Spence. When it doesn't fit the narrative, Bud is ducking. That's my whole point. All sanctioning bodies should rule, fight your mandatory or lose the title. Rachel, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's why I think the sanctioning body at WBO should make Sean Porter fight Terence Crawford. If Sean Porter don't want to activate his mandatory clause, they should make that happen. And that'll kill all that. Bud said he wouldn't fight Spence if it was 50-50. Those are his words, not mine. I know he said that, but if you were listening to the live, I said the reason why he said that because he's upset, he's frustrated, because he's been chasing Spence for 3 years. He's been chasing him for 3 years, fam. Chasing him. You on the other side of the street, 70-30, 80-20. You ain't got no belt. You ain't fought nobody. Come on, man. I listen. I get it. It's Terence Crawford. I get it. I get it. Trust me, Peter. I get it. I can do this all day though. All right, guys. We're finna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Anyways, I want to show you guys one more thing before we go. Add the string. I want to show you guys one more thing before we go. Oh, sorry about that, guys. That ain't what I wanted. Let me do this. Share. I want to show you guys because we're going to do a video on this. We're going to talk about this probably tomorrow. I'm going to go here. I want you guys to see the roster. This is the roster of all PBC fighters. Remember they say PBC is the channel to go to? Wait. Let me go back here. Sorry about that. Let me do this. Make sure I don't have nothing on the screen. Okay. I don't have anything on the screen. Okay, so PBC has 146 fighters. Out of 146 fighters, 95% of these fighters are not making no money. Literally. They starving boxers. David Benavidez is over there. He can't even get a fight with Jamal Charlo. They're on the same side of the street. Let's see who else they got. Dominique Brazil. you know what AJ knocked him out, and Tyson Fury, not Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder knocked him out. Adrian Broner, hasn't looked good since Marcos Maidana beat him. But Adrian Broner's making money. I'm not even gonna get into this right now. Jamel Charlo, they making $3-4 million over there. You know what I mean? So we're gonna look at their whole roster, because when people say PBC is this channel, is the way all the fighters make money at, I'm gonna debunk that. I'm gonna show you they ain't making no money over there. You see what I'm saying? Errol Spence worth $8 million. So that's you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap this up to answer the title. Yes. Berto, yeah, man, Berto's still boxing. Hey, but we're gonna address this PBC roster. We're gonna address this. Other than that, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Let me go ahead and give everybody a shout out. Peter Von Arts. Let's see. I'll take Ugas belt. So we'll see. We won't we? All right, Peter Von Arts, what's up, fam? Shelton Moore, what's going on, brother? What's going on, fam? Boardroom Bully, what's going on? Xavier, what's good, fam? The Boxing Jedi, salute to you, fam. Milani, salute. Mikey C, salute. DW, salute. Let's see. Shelton Moore, salute. Thomas Vase, salute. Let's see. Wizard Sleeve, salute. Rachel Novick, salute. DW, salute, fam. And again, we'll see what we got. What we got here.
Hey, Leroy!
DW, good looking out, fam.
Received.
Good looking out for the super chat. Good looking out for the super chat. DW, good looking out for the super chat. And let's see. Let's see who else we got. Who else we got? Shelton Moore, peace. Salute to you, fam. Let's see. Thomas, what's good, brother? I want to make sure I get everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out before we shut it down. I said Peter Von Ox. DW, my main man. Good looking out for the super chat again.
Super chat received.
Ronald Finkley. Good looking out for the super chat too, fam. Let's see. New Money DMG, salute. Shelton Moore, salute. Pound for pound. Real boxing news, salute. Hey man, we got to do a live together too, brother. Me and you got to do a live together, pound for pound. I'll be checking your channel out. My main man, Diallo Huggy, man. I got love for you, bro. Salute to you. You know what I mean? hey, salute to you. Yeah, man. What I do like the fact that, you know, we can have disagreements. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, absolutely, I like that. You know, and everybody's respectful, so that's good. Let's see. Peter Von Oss, I agree with you. I disagree with you on you know, I know you pro PBC and Crawford, but I pro PBC and Aerospace, but I think that's what we disagree at. Patrick Eddy, salute. Marcus Davidson, salute. Let's see. Wizard Sleeve, salute. The Boxing Pundit, salute. Edward Stevens, salute. Bunny Badass, salute. Let's see. I said the Boxing Pundit. Boardroom Bully, salute. New Money DMG, salute, fam. This is Rob, salute. This is Rob, salute. Well, salute, fam. You're right. He is frustrated with the excuses. Yeah, Terence Crawford got to understand this is the politics of boxing. That's just how boxing operates. He didn't have to go through this one in the lighter weights. I think that's his problem. On the Boxing Pundit, salute. Michael Buffer, salute. Let's see. John Sebastio, salute. Let's see. Oh, Sebastiano, salute. Let's see. Emmett Oliver, salute. Ronald Finkley, salute, fam. Good looking out for the super chat. Good looking out for the super chat. Let's see. J Max, salute. DW, Wayne Fitness, salute, fam. Thomas, J Max, salute. And other than that, guys, that's it, guys. We signing out. And catch us tomorrow, bro. We're gonna go live again tomorrow. I'm gonna post a message in the in the live, okay? With YouTube. Other than that, guys, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams signing out. Represent for New Media Today, USA Boxing, and peace. Let's get it.